Oh, still more heart. She's steady. You just helped somebody because you helped me too. What you got? Well, hello, everybody. Y'all, it's Monday. Welcome to Mommy Mondays, y'all. Mommy Mondays almost didn't happen, okay? Mommy Mondays is happening out of the responsibility of consistency, okay? Listen, just because things aren't going the way you want them to doesn't mean you don't show up. Hello? All right. And these Mommy Mondays, and guess what the challenge is? Being a mom. All right. So listen, I am super excited. Thank you guys so much for joining in tonight. We are wrapping up HBCU month, and listen, it has been so good. Y'all see this flag? It looked like a flag, but this is the shawl to my dress that my 2-year-old is waving in the background. So no worries. He's here and it's okay. All right. So listen, it is Mommy Mondays and I'm super excited. This is the last Monday of HBCU month. We have been celebrating HBCUs all month and it has been beautiful, from Jackson State to Spelman College to Alabama State University, and now tonight to Tuskegee University. I am super excited to have my guests. And listen, as always, each Monday, we are here focused on HBCUs. And my husband and I have a scholarship where we are raising funds for graduate students at Alabama State University. And I know you're here tonight, you're tuning in, you're catching the replay because you were here for Tuskegee, and that's okay. Listen, it's all HBCU love. I would greatly appreciate you making a donation towards our scholarship. The link to all the things is in the bio right underneath this video for you to make a tax deductible donation to a student trying to get their graduate degree, making contributions to their community. So I'm super excited to be here and have my one of my favorite repeat guests. Y'all listen, she come through in the clutch every time. I'm like, listen, look, it's HBCU month. Got it. All right. We talking about sororities. Got it. We talking about being mommies. Got it. We talking about entrepreneurship. Got it. Being a wife. Got it. She checked all the boxes. Okay. So I'm excited to have my sister, my friend, the beautiful, the talented Miss Jessica. Hello, my love. How are you?
Look, I'm all crooked. Let me see. Okay. Hey, y'all.
Listen, Jessica is coming off a homecoming weekend, so she's still ramped up. She is still ramped up. She's still in there hanging in. I was like, she said, Ebony, now I'm going to do it, but wait a minute. I think that's how, I don't know if I'm going to be ready. So I am so excited to have you. I'm always grateful.
Thank you.
Even when the 2-year-old is present. Y'all see
He's
him.
So cute.
He is fading into the background. But listen, Jessica, you know the questions because you've been here to answer them many times. You're going to tell people who you are, what you do, and why you do it. But the thing we're going to add is the impact that your HBCU, Tuskegee University, has had on your life.
So let me start by saying, and I know you just said this, but I don't think the people understand. Like, I just came off of homecoming, guys. So when she says Mommy Mondays almost didn't happen, they almost didn't happen because I'm hanging on by this last thread. There has been zero recovery, okay?
Yes.
Because not only was it homecoming, I went on a vacation with the boo the week prior, and then the week before that, I had my event. So we have not been in our house, living in our house, since about October 7th, 8th. And so now we're back home and it's chaotic. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm coming or going. I don't know who I am. Who am I, Ebony? I don't know. But no, I am Jessica Ransom Pessu. I wear many hats, as Ebony said. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm an entrepreneur. Most recently, I have been working on events in the wellness community. That is my passion right now. Have some good things coming out in that realm, and I just cannot wait for us to really get those projects going. The biggest thing right now is just being a mom. It's really being a mom. My background is in electrical engineering and mathematics, where I received both of my degrees from Tuskegee University. Thank you, 1881, July 4th, 1881. Come on, Tuskegee pulled through. Golden Tigers. Tuskegee has been everything for me. Like, just coming off of homecoming and seeing people that I went to school with, seeing people that I mentored, and just everyone in their element of success and coming together, especially off the pandemic. It's been 2 years since we've had a real homecoming. So let's back up. We didn't actually have homecoming in Tuskegee. We created our own homecoming in Atlanta. So that is how hard we go for Tuskegee. That's how hard we go for Tuskegee. We created our own homecoming. And so it's like family. And like you said, it's all HBCU love. And I mean, I owe everything to Tuskegee. My husband went to Tuskegee, so I found love. I didn't find love in Tuskegee, but after the fact, I found love. Okay. Okay. So everybody's listening. If you're a college student, they tell you better find them in college because it's hard once you get out. It's hard. I'm telling you. So, yes.
Well, she's not lying because most of them know who have been watching that I met my husband at Alabama State. Um,
Right.
so she's not lying when she say, and we
Listen.
didn't date or anything, but we knew one another
Right.
in school. And
Same.
so, you're not lying here. So you're
I'm telling
absolutely
y'all.
correct.
I remember I was like, like I'm in school. I'm just trying to, and it was this girl. It was this girl at Tuskegee, and she told me that her mom actually told her, when you go to school, you better find your husband. And I was like, oh, that is so tacky. Like you came to school to find a man, girl. What? We here to learn. We here to party, and that's it. Okay. And then once I left and I was in that corporate world, I was like, where you at? So thank God for Tuskegee and coming back to Tuskegee and my husband seeing me and thinking of me to become us and we. Okay.
Amen. Amen. And I know that you are all about the ball and parlay. For
Yes.
those who don't know, I mean, Jessica was a part of the homecoming court. She was a dancer. She was significantly involved while she was in school. Talk a little bit about the impact that some of your professors, that you still remember to this day, have had that had an impact on what you're doing now.
So what's ironic is the person who probably had the most impact, she was not my professor. She's still at Tuskegee. She's the assistant dean of electrical engineering, Miss Toya Dean. She's my soror. Miss Dean she was everything. Like when I came into Tuskegee, excuse me, I came in as well. I thought about doing computer science, and then my math scores were so good on all my standardized tests, the ACT, etc. The math department was recruiting me, so I started off as a math major, and my mom was like, "What you gonna do with math?" I'm like, "I'm gonna be a teacher." "Oh no, you're not. You're not gonna be a teacher." And we went to high school together, so I was in the magnet program. So all they put down our throat was engineering.
And
So my mom
technology.
was
That's
like,
it.
we didn't do these 4 years talk about engineering for you not to go in and be an engineer. But I don't know. I guess I was just afraid going in, taking that road. So anyway, when I started off my first year, I was undecided. So I was just taking classes. I didn't take any classes that had anything to do with anything. So I gave Tuskegee, you're welcome, Tuskegee. I gave them a lot of money my first year. Well, I had a scholarship. So they used my scholarship on nothingness, basically, because I was not taking any classes. And so I met Miss Dean, I think that summer, because my mom was like, you need to get it together. And I went ahead and signed up as an electrical engineering major, and I was doing mathematics. And so Miss Dean just really took me under her wings, and she saw a lot in me that I didn't see in myself. And she encouraged me a lot. I still speak to her to this day. She still gives me all the hookups. I'm like, Miss Dean, I need somebody that can do X, Y, and Z. She like, here you go. Or I'm like, look, I got somebody that's coming to Tuskegee. I need to da 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 da. She got me. So I would say she probably has had the most impact on me. Like I said, she was my soror. When I came to Tuskegee, the Deltas were not there. So I waited 5 long years to become a Delta. So I became a Delta my last year at Tuskegee. And she really kept me focused. Like, if this is what you want to do, just be patient. It's coming. And so, love you, love you, love you, Toya Dean. Like I said, she's still in my life and still at Tuskegee doing things for the engineering department.
And that is beautiful because you know what I think about just in listening to your story is how often students are faced with the idea of that's hard, that's
Yeah,
difficult, that's challenging. And so talk a little bit about what it looked like for you to major in engineering because so many students are turned off by just the word engineering and turned off by things like saying math is too hard when really
right.
it's not. The one of the affirmations that we have here in our house since I'm homeschooling is math is easy because I want
Yes.
my children to know that it's not difficult. It's something easy to learn. It's something easy to grasp. Talk a little bit about what it looked like for you to walk through an engineering program because I think some students may be intimidated. Some people in
Right.
general, even adults, if they're thinking about transitioning into a new field, they may be intimidated by the idea of saying, hey, I'm an engineer. What did that look like for you to walk through that program?
So first I want to say I love the fact that you guys have that affirmation. When we were in high school, there was a lady there who taught math in the mornings. And she used to have us write math is beautiful. She had a tutorial, and I was a Girl Scout. So I was trying, I'm always doing the most. I was trying to get my gold award in Girl Scouts. And so I wanted to create a tutorial program because I think hers was just like seniors because it was for people that were trying to graduate and having issues. And I wanted to do something 9th through 12th. So I created this tutorial program in the morning. And she would always have everybody write math is beautiful at the top of the page. And if you wrote that, you got 10 points off top on your test or your work or whatever. And so I've always kind of had that in my mind, and I've always liked math. And I just didn't know what I would do with it, what that looks like. And I think people don't realize you use math in everything. It's not just numbers. Like, it's in how you process your day and taking your time, and it's a lot that comes into math. So I think in our community and just in general, I think a lot of people have that fear for math. And so when I was talking to counselors, etc., and like I said, when people looked at my scores, it was like, oh, well, you're great in math, so you should consider electrical engineering. And for me, it's like, okay, well, I really don't know what I want to do. The only thing I ever knew that I wanted to do was dance. And clearly I ain't a dancer. I thought I was going to be dancing for Janet Jackson, touring all over the world with her, not really thinking at some point Janet Jackson is going to sit down and I ain't going to have no job. So that was that was what I thought I was going to do in my life. And so anyway, deciding to do engineering, it really was a challenge because I was afraid. But the great thing about Tuskegee is really like community, is really family. I know you've probably seen the memes, and it's like, if you don't love me the way Tuskegee alums love Tuskegee, then I don't want it. Because that's the truth. Like, we love our school. And so because it's so close knit, when I did decide to do electrical engineering, I just got with a really good group of people, and they were just like, oh, we doing this. Like, okay, you got that. And so we always got together, put our own tutorials together, got together in the dorms, in our apartments, whatever. So it made it easier. So I think the biggest thing is having that support system, no matter what you do. Because, like I said, I thought about doing computer science, and I was really good in computer science. I took about 4. I think for our electives, we had to do like some language stuff, and I ended up taking like 4 different computer science classes in the beginning, and so they used those towards my major, so I didn't have to take any language classes or whatever. And so even with computer science, I was a little bit intimidated by it. And I think about now, like, if I was doing something in that realm, like, listen, okay, I was
Mm.
tripping. I was tripping.
But you still, I mean, but still, even as an engineer, even
Yes,
as
yes, and
a
right.
black woman engineer,
Yes.
there's still such beautiful space
It is.
for
It is a
you.
beautiful space. It is. And it is still a hard space because I will say
It's
when
still
I
a
grad
challenging space.
yes, it's challenging. Let's not say hard. It's challenging. And challenge is relative because some people like the challenge. And I will say that I did like the challenge when I was not a mother because once I put my mind to, okay, this is the career, this is the path, I was ready to continue to move up that corporate ladder. And so my first engineering job once I graduated was with Raytheon Missile Systems. I had a secret clearance. I worked on NATO projects. Like I worked on a lot of things that I just never would have thought that I would do. And it was great for that time. But then once I started to build my family, I had to really change and shift my priorities. So, that field is very male driven. And it's definitely not driven by our race of people. You don't see as many of us. And when you do see as many of us, you know how it goes sometimes. Everybody's in it for themselves. And so I'm just not someone that's built like that. I'm all about community, I'm all about people and seeing other people grow as I grow. And so, I'm sure I could have switched companies or, try some other things. And I think about it all the time, like, oh, these bills looking real hefty. I might need to dust that resume off and slide back in that thing.
But
but
I mean, you don't need to do it. And the only reason I say that is because you're doing such amazing things. I think that God has you in a space where you're doing exactly what it is that He
yeah,
desires of you. Because you thrive off of such amazing energy of others. You surround yourself with people who are doing amazing things, and therefore you do amazing things. And I think
thank you.
it's a beautiful space to see you in, just in spaces where you're so vibrant and full of life and
I
exuding
appreciate
joy.
that.
And even though you're an engineer, sometimes there's a lack of happiness when you're doing things
Yeah,
because you can instead of because you desire to.
right.
And
Exactly.
that
Exactly.
can be a challenge for a lot of people because they're like, oh, well, I need to pay my bills, so I must do
Right.
this. But
I
what you
must do
must do
this.
is trust the
Right.
universe, trust and have faith that everything will meticulously work itself out. And you've done that very beautifully. And you said something that I want to touch on just a little bit because it's just so good. And I was segue into it anyway. The idea of things being challenging,
Yeah.
and the idea of facing challenges. I have a 7-year old, a 6-year old, and a 2-year old. And these are all challenges, and they are not always easy. But one of the things that I try to remind my 7-year old is that things may seem hard, but really they're challenging. Talk a little
Yes.
bit about what that means when you think about the difference between. That's why I corrected you when you said it. I was like, no, 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 because I don't let Madison say it. I can't let Jessica say it.
And I
Um,
appreciate that. You got to watch your words. You got to
yeah.
watch what you are putting out into the universe. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
And so talk a little bit about what it looks like for you to overcome your challenges, because you are an anomaly. You're a black female entrepreneur, you're a mother, and especially in the engineering space, whether you're using the working in that field or not, you overcame a challenge. What did it look like for you to be able to do that?
And I'll say this, I am still in the like you said, I am an entrepreneur. So probably a lot of what people see me do now has nothing to do with engineering. But my husband's still an engineer and we have a business together. So we still work in energy efficiency. And so I'm kind of like pivoting and trying to figure out how to blend all of these things. I don't know if you've seen my recent hashtag. I've been coining myself the energy efficiency engineer because for me, although my background is electrical engineering and my husband and our business is for energy that is pulled from the universe, I also think about of our interior energy. And like you said, just understanding that it's not about paying the bills, and it's not all about paying the bills, because it is about paying the bills. We got to keep these lights on, but but understanding, like, pulling that energy from within, sometimes that'll take you more places than just trying to stick by the books and stay with a company for 20 years and go up this corporate ladder that can take you to a place of stress and just things that you really don't even need on your life. But going back to your question, just pivoting with challenges, I think my biggest challenge, career wise, was, and like you mentioned, your children, it was understanding and finding that balance of being mom and being Jessica, the overachiever, business driven, because that's all I've ever known. That's what I know to do. I knew how to do me and achieve for me. And then these children started sprinkling in, and it's like, how do I still fulfill that part of me, Jackson? How do I still fulfill that part of me, but also put it in my own children, instill it in my own children? And I mean, I work through that challenge every day. But I think it's a matter of patience, understanding, taking things day by day, or hour by hour, minute by minute. I'm always present. That, I think that's the biggest thing with me. I'm always present. I do look towards the future, but I think when you are present and you know what's going on presently, it helps you to operate better. I don't like to live in the past. Things that happen in the past are the past. You can learn from it, but if you stay there, you won't progress. So that's just been my motto for dealing with challenges. Just taking it one thing at a time, not letting it overcome me. I have been in those spaces where I have let it get the best of me, and what was the result? So you wake up to another day every day, so hopefully.
Right. God willing. Yeah, you wake
Yes,
up
God
to
willing.
another day every day. Yes. And so, but I think that it's so beautiful, that you're willing to allow yourself to take it one day at a time. Sometimes we see what it is that we want and we just want to make it happen so fast. It's like, oh yeah, I want to be successful and this is how I want to be successful and it's going to happen tomorrow. And this is
Yeah.
how I'm going to make it happen tomorrow. And like you said, I'm just as driven as you are. Some of the conversations that we have about what we want to do and how we want to do it, and then we're humbled by the
Yes.
sound of children screaming in the
Right.
background, or somebody needing us, or having to pop a booby out. So we're
And look, not only that, we always have like 10,000 things. So I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And then those two things join together and make this. So yes.
yes, we have very kindred spirits because we both just desire. We're willing to do whatever it takes. I
Yes.
think that's just a part of it. We have this desire to do whatever it takes for us to get where we're supposed to be. I think
Right.
we have seen glimpses of what it is that the future has for us, and we
Right.
know what's there. So it's like, I just got to do whatever it is I'm supposed to do to get to
Mm-hmm.
where I'm supposed to be. And I don't,
Yep.
but we got these kids, so we get humbled, often as we are in pursuit of what it is that we know is set up for us. We're not going to be here long tonight, so I only have two more questions that I want you to kind of talk about as we move forward. We've talked about the fact that we are moms, and I know that going to HBCUs, we create a lot of friendships and connections, and you just came off of a trip with your hubby right before homecoming with some of your TU family. So talk a little bit about some of
Yes.
the lifelong friendships and relationships that are created by being surrounded by people who accept you for who you are.
So the irony of the trip was we had a lot of business stuff going on. And I want to give a shout out to Marcus and Spring because without them, it would not have happened. And they were just like, no, we're going to make this happen. We're going to make sure that our paths, because they actually came before we arrived. So they had been there like 3 or 4 days, and we were able to spend like two days together, and then they flew out. And then my husband and I spent the other tail end of the trip together. But it was really amazing. And the other couple that was there, they were Tuskegee grads, but I didn't know them. They were younger than us. So it was just like, oh, Tuskegee. It didn't matter. Like, even though we didn't know each other now, it's like that's my little cousin, like my little cousin and them, you know. And we were so excited. We're like, okay, so now everybody's going to homecoming, and you find out that, oh, you knew this person, I knew that person, blah blah blah. But it was great. It was really good. I was so happy that we decided to go because it was it was a lot. It was a lot. Like I said, I was just coming off the tail end of putting on a big production that we've been working on for some months now. And I knew that I would not be able to stay the entire time. And because I am the person that I am, I like to see things through all the way to the end. And so I felt like, I'm walking away. I'm leaving this and I need to be there. But it was a great trip. And I mean, just anything, not just taking trips. Like me now sitting here, this sweatshirt I have on is from one of my band members that has a clothing line, a Yago clothing. I had it open because I want to make sure. I'll come back to it so y'all can find him on social media. But my earrings are from another Tuskegee grad, Jessica. Hey, girl. I mean, we keep it in a family, and it's just a great thing. It's a great thing to be able to be like, oh, I need this, I need that. Oh, I know somebody who does that. Oh, I'm putting this together. And you just call on your HBCU, even if it's not Tuskegee. I call on you, Alabama State. It's all love.
Yeah, and listen, and people don't, they forget about it. We did have the Turkey Day Classic where Alabama State played Tuskegee for years upon years, and it's like when it stopped happening, people was like, "What happened?
Right, right.
Why did
I
it stop?"
spent
And
many of
so,
Thanksgivings in Montgomery, Alabama, because I was
yes,
in the band, and it was so funny. My freshman year, I hurt my arm, and so my mom was like, "Oh, well, good. We don't have to go down to the game. We can go. You can come home for Thanksgiving." And my band director was like, no, you gonna be at the game." I was like, "No, ma." He said, "I got to come to the game." She was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" So I'm up in the game. I had my little cast on. I had my little sequence put on it. They had bedazzled me up, jeweled me up. And my mom went to that game. And even when I graduated from Tuskegee, she was still going to the Turkey Day Classic. I was no longer a student. My mother came to the game so much that people thought my mama graduated from Tuskegee. So that's just how great it is. That's just that HBC, because she didn't go to a HBCU. So for her, it was like, this is everything. She still comes to all the stuff now. But yeah, she went from complaining about that Turkey Day Classic to meeting a group of women that live in Montgomery, hanging out with them, and they still keep in touch to this day. So yes, that's how
look,
good that game
see,
was.
connected and making lifelong friendships, even for the family. Okay,
Right,
even
exactly,
for the
exactly.
family, and and it's such a beautiful thing. I think that when we, especially closing out HBCU month, the number one thing that has been such a big deal is just the family and the support and the connections that have happened.
Yes,
Just as we create communities that are open and willing to accept us for all of our melanin, all of our afros, all of our locks, all
yes,
of our, whatever, who we are, wherever we are, however we want to dress, whoever it is that we want to be, whatever pronoun we want to use, just open to accepting us for who we are. And there are many black people, black and brown people at PWIs, which are predominantly white institutions, and they encounter so much turmoil and frustration. And I won't say every last one of them because that's not everybody's story, but
right.
the majority of them.
Yeah,
And so all this month, my idea was just to highlight, the importance of historically black colleges and universities, and, spotlight what it means for the sisterhood that we've created, because everybody who was on this month, I still consider friend, I still consider sister, and they're from three different universities,
right.
two deltas, one AKA and one me fi me, Deetla, who was with me last week. And it's just so beautiful, the sisterhood that's created by it all. And
Yeah.
so before you go tonight, I would love for you to share just your top three things, your top three things about HBCUs, whether it's
Uh-oh. Did you lose me?
no, you're still here. Your top three things about HBCU, whether it's as a wife, as a mom, as a
I can't
alumni.
hear you anymore.
Uh-oh. All right, y'all. Let's see if we can get her back in. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I have no idea. It went out.
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to send her a private chat, y'all, so she can answer this question. And I may need to text her, but it may pop up for her, so she can talk about it before we go.
Okay, I'm going to the chat. Tell us three things that you love about HBCUs. So, number one, definitely being the family community connection. Like, forget everything that I learned, forget the degrees. Like, I cannot replace the connection and the love that I gained from individuals at my HBCU. Number two, education. I know it should have been first, but it is what it is. I had some amazing professors that really cared about me. I think that no matter where you go to, because HBCUs, I think sometimes get a bad rap. I think people want to jump on these Ivy League schools and whatever, but you can easily become a number anywhere. So what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And I think I put in enough to get what I needed to get out of Tuskegee. And number three, I don't know. I guess I would say maybe legacy. Like, I would love for my children to go to Tuskegee. And I already know. Well, look, I got 5 of them. So I figure out of 5, somebody got to go to Tuskegee.
You got real good odds. Real good odds.
Somebody got to come to Tuskegee. So I love the fact that there is a sense of legacy that will be there. And if any of my children or cousins or whomever has the opportunity to come to Tuskegee, I feel like once they get there, I can help them navigate and, put them on the right path. So
so beautiful. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can't, but I can read your lips. You said that's so beautiful.
Yes. I am so glad that you spent some time with us today. Listen, guys, this has been Mommy Mondays. It has been so beautiful. We are going to pray. And of course, before we go, because I always like to seal it all with love. And so, as always, I'm super excited that you were here with us. And my prayer is that your mind can think of him, your eyes can see him, your mouth can speak of him, your ears can hear him, your heart can beat for him, the blood flowing through your veins is of him, your hands can be lifted to worship him, and you can walk within the footsteps that he has designed. And anytime you lay down to rest, you can awaken, refreshed, renewed, and restored. Thank you guys so much for being here. I greatly appreciate you all.
Bye, Jackson, if you can
have
hear
an
me.
Amazing night. This has been Mommy Mondays. I so appreciate you. Good night.
Mommy, I'm sure she can tell you yes. Oh, still more heart. She's 7.
You just helped somebody because you helped me too. What you got?